there's a trend that happens in August where people get dumped, like break up, like a lot of breakups.
Maybe that's why they call it the August break.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sound like that, but I have a lot of women. I'm joking.
The Lion, the Conqueror.
No, it's not that.
A man in his pride.
I have a lot of like friends, mostly they're even that.
They just so happen to be many of them. What's your name, please?
My name is Kofo.
Hi, Kofo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Right now, nothing if I'm being honest.
I'm going to need you to shift a bit.
Okay, so right now, nothing if I'm being honest.
So you just want to see.
I think recently, tax reforms have been explored.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I like God.
well, I mean, it's so I work in. I don't know. Lately, I really had something that I need to talk about. I guess maybe. Oh yeah, a lot of people have been sick lately.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like these people close to you?
No, just generally. And there was recently, August. They said there's a trend that happens in August where people get dumped, like break up, like a lot of breakups.
Maybe that's why they call it the August break.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, tax reforms, people falling sick in what I guess is the fall. Falling sick in fall, and then breaking up in August break. You know, August is my favorite month because it's my birthday month. It's my birth month.
Oh, so happy birthday
in area. So thank you.
Definitely.
I will forever love that month, and not just because I'm biased, but just in general. But it would seem like not many people like that month as well. One of the things I'm about is promoting kindness, thoughtfulness in kind actions, and I strongly believe in the idea that small acts of kindness make the world go round. Right? I think that the little things that you do to someone that makes them feel better, the little concessions you make in people's lives to just improve their quality of life or to aid them in some way, it ultimately comes around. And so I think, what is the kindest thing a stranger has done for you? Stranger specifically.
Strangers, I don't think a stranger has been kind to me in a very long time. I can't remember. So most of the people, I have very kind people in my life, but like they're all friends, and we don't really keep score. So it's hard for me to remember that. I don't know how to put it. It's like water now. It becomes a bit strange when you ask what's the last time you drink. If you drink water often, someone say what's the last time you drink water, you'll be like,
well, for someone like me, I would say, because I always have it around, but I feel your analogy.
Yeah. But like a stranger, especially in this, maybe if I was to look back, I don't know, I haven't had the best of luck with strangers, if I'm being honest. Like my luck, like, it becomes better. Maybe I'm the problem, because I mean, so why always me? But I don't, or maybe I don't have a welcoming or a great resting face. So if someone sees me, they're like, I don't need to be kind to this guy. I beg. Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe, but I can't really recall what the kindness a stranger has done to me. Now, if it is friends, like I said, we're always kind to each other, so...
Okay, so let's talk about friends. I have stories about like things that strangers have done for me.
Stranger, sorry, that's nice. Stranger. Okay, so friends. I mean, like I said, I've been blessed with a lot of kind friends, so it's and I don't discount it. So it's from personally, I will count like from the smallest things. I just helping with clarity, saying a prayer, just giving advice. Yeah. So.
So yeah, those are quite literally small acts of kindness.
So what? Yeah, I don't think I'm small. I haven't had the best of. Like I said, if I don't have the best of love with strangers, then
okay. So
no, I appreciate it because now it's common in my life now. But like I always still look back and just appreciate like.
So I'm curious, and it's something I would like to explore at some point, which is how you moved from what do you call it? I guess strangers to friends to these individuals, all right, to eventually get to the point where you are.
It's usually organic now. Like
yes,
it's a person. If you don't know somebody, you guys know each other. Like
we meet each other, and then
we meet, and then if we have similar interests, we get better at If
So-
we don't see each other, we don't even try to look for each other again.
So my thing is at the point of just acquaintanceship prior to friendship, like are there things that they did for you that maybe tipped the scale to move it to friendship?
I honestly can't think of one because maybe I can't think all the way back to
The beginning.
like to the beginning. But like I said, I'm surrounded with kind people. So like from the get go, we at least just try to be. I'm like always try to be kind. So from the get go, I'm not like trying to be hostile. We might not have similar interests. That would most likely be what separates us.
Yeah.
But I don't think similar interest is something that will bring us together. I don't think not being kind is like I just think God has blessed me. I always meet kind people. Let me just put it down. Let me just throw that out there. I'm Jesus's.
Yeah, but then at the same
always
time,
meet kind people. So
So
I
what?
don't know.
So this is interesting because it feels like a bit of a contradiction, right? Which is that the sense that you've not been very lucky with strangers, with kind
Yeah,
strangers,
okay,
but
let
you
me put
have
it this
been.
way. I always have kind people in my life, like around me.
Yeah.
There was this lady, I don't know why we didn't meet again after I was jogging in the area, and she was like, "Oh, I like your hair." I was like, "Yeah, thank you." No. Yes, I like your hair. Say your hair is fine. I know, but thank you.
This is why you are the problem. What do you mean? I know.
I did not say that.
Okay.
I just said
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
But I can call.
Yeah, but I like that a lot. I've had it happen so much. Specifically,
So I guess that's an act of kindness, right? So
yes, that definitely is, and it has happened to me quite a bit, enough for me to then
I'm still working with you.
was that for people to be complimenting you.
No, okay. Oh, like
Oh, to
that's
be-
a regular actor. Because this compliment was a stranger. This compliment was like 7 months ago.
And
So-
it's true what they say about like men receiving one compliment in 2 years, and they're like, oh my god.
no, I
This
guess
is
no, not from a stranger. Now, if it's from
Your
like
friends.
people in my life, not even necessarily people in my life,
No, no. But the contrast is versus women who are on like more constantly receive like physical
I don't
compliments.
sound like that, but I have a lot of women. I'm joking.
The lion, the conqueror.
No, it's not that.
A man in his pride.
I have a lot of like friends, mostly they're even
And they just happen to be women. Many of them.
not really. The ones that stay the longest or the ones that I'm closest to are really guys.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think so.
But even as guys, we kill each other now. So like when I was even talking about compliments, it was even more for my guy. Like when I came, I was telling you.
False. Flattery, by the way. Flattery, people of God. But you know what? I think there's something about
It's like bad. Is it?
is the lowest form of what? How do they put that thing? Flattery is the lowest form of wit that they.
Why do you think it's flattering? Like what's if the person just complimenting you?
Because
like,
you
I
don't-
was actually
You know, so for instance, I think look at it this way: if someone had just met you, they don't
Yeah.
know what you sound like, and they're like, "Ah, your voice sounds so good. You are the best singer in the world." Would you consider that flattery or compliments?
I mean, the person, like, there are people who compliment people exaggeratedly, especially around guys.
That's literally what flattery is.
No, like, we're not, like, that person is obviously lying, like, and that's even, like,
No,
that's downright, that's dead guy stuff, if I'm being honest.
no, but that's exactly what it says. Now we consider flattery to be
Yeah, I get it,
permissible
but,
lies.
but, like, there's overly exaggerating stuff, like, okay, you might, right, you know the dream. You might eat cake. You might go to buy cake, for example.
Let it
Like you might just an example.
Yeah.
And then you taste the cake and you're like, this is the best thing that has happened. Like this is the best thing they've tasted. But like you feel that way. It's most probably a lie. You might like Amala better than that. But like initially, like, and the cake is genuinely great. So I see it as like over exaggerated.
Yeah, but I don't think it's
Compliment.
quite the same thing. As,
Like when I was selling it that time, I was just like, because she had mentioned that you had been here like for a while,
yeah.
and I like you stayed.
No,
Like you, so I was like,
think-
whoa, could never be me.
Okay. No, so I think we are saying the same thing with two different words, which is that exaggerated compliments versus flattery. Like I think flattery is literally exaggerated compliments.
Okay, I think the way you present flattery is I can't remember the word for it. A bit it starts around condescending and like it's almost like okay, the person is obviously being sarcastic.
Oh,
Thank you, love. Because like the person saying that is clear sarcasm. Thank you.
Perfect.
I hope it's premium.
Shout out to you.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right.
It's good.
I'll take your word for it. The plantain does look good though. I was right. I thought it be looking softer.
Come to Jabi Lake for the best plantain.
Shout out to that kiosk success plantain. Okay, so on strangers, I've had so much. I've had quite a bit of, I think, fortune in meeting people who are,
Yeah.
and it's from small things, right? People just in their capacity as like office workers going what I consider above. So you decide like I want something, and then you take my number. You decide to follow up and
Well, those
pursue.
kind of strangers.
No, I think no people that I meet in offices. Like I meet you as an office worker, and then
Oh, okay.
so it's like this is just obligation, which I think is providing service or answer to my query. When I think there's kindness, which is like beyond the facts, like taking it out of your way to then say, oh, I'll keep in touch to ensure that when that distance is ready. It can just be
That's
good.
part of his KPI.
No, but that's the thing, right? Kindness is, I think, in the outcome, and this is good because I think it's something that we just talk about. The idea of what kindness exactly is, like where is kindness situated? Is it in the outcome or in the intent?
I think it's end to end.
B2B. I think that's a good idea, right? I think kindness is both about the intent and the outcome.
Yeah, because I might intend to be kind of like in your case now. I was just complimenting.
Yes.
But how you felt was flattery.
Yeah, but it
So like my intention was honestly compliments.
Yeah, but the delivery of it, I ended up.
How you felt it was. So in that case, I clearly failed to be kind, because like complimenting is the kind bit I intended to be that way.
I don't want to split hairs on this particular one because I mean,
So, like,
I have my opinions on
So it's
why
dicey.
not.
So it's dicey because like you might think the person is going above and beyond. But if he's trying to look good in front of his boss and get promotion,
Yeah, so I
I
don't.
don't care about it like that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that it's a bad thing, right? I
Like what
think
if it's part of their brand? Like okay, like
it should
why?
be going above and beyond. Like
Like
you know
why
Chick-fil-A.
No, okay, wait, let's make it more localized. Like
Okay.
GTBank, now GTBank has horrible customer service. And I think it might not even much be as from like the individuals are horrible. They cannot employ 5,000 horrible people. I think it's like the process, the structure. When the structure just stops at reply the mail, finish. Then these other ones are like, that will not be good for our KPI. After you've received the complaint, follow up, send a mail 5 days after to check if the product was good, call the customer. Obviously, they will seek consent first. They'll now have to do consent forms. They didn't do the consent forms back then. Then they do consent forms. Like, what if that just is KPI?
Yeah, I think that is a kind KPI.
You don't give it. They don't care.
No, but I think that's kind KPI.
He's obligated to.
No, but that's the thing, right? I don't
So,
think.
like-
No, so because earlier I think we had discussed the idea of like obligation versus like intention. I think the idea that kindness must be selfless, which is that must have no kind of benefit to you, is something that's flawed in the conception of kindness. I think the idea that kindness is necessarily just altogether noble and altruistic in intention, I don't think it represents what kindness is. Thank you. But this is the kind thing that you did. I mean, it can just be out of character, out of how you are as a person, but it's a kind thing to you. It is routine, but it is kind in outcome. It is courteous. But
What if you felt offended? I offered you plantain. What if you're like, did I say I don't eat this morning?
you asked a
What
question.
if I'm allergic to plantain?
No, I don't think I can fault you for like in this case. I would be the unregulated one. It's like, why are you getting offended by a question being asked? I mean, it's a very valid thing that can happen, but no, I don't.
Like, no, you can legitimately apologize. And I think that's like why it's hard to find strangers who are kind. Because you never really know the outcome.
I think a rule of thumb, a very good rule of thumb, is the idea of treating others as you would like to be treated. I think it's not a 100% as most rules aren't. It's not a 100% guarantee that you will always end up treating people well. But the idea that if
You
you
might not catch me. Sorry, I'm very hungry. It's been a long day.
I'm being kind, but let's say eat on my. This is, I think, a more fascinating question. I'm more interested in the kindness bit of it, but the first part was a good meander to get him. Where was I? I think about being offended and being offended by offering food. I think, yeah, so saying that treating people the way you want to be treated, I think it's a good rule of thumb to ensuring that you are proceeding with kindness. I think it's a profoundly kind thing to do, to consider others. I think to be kind is to be thoughtful. I think to be kind is to be considerate of someone else.
Yeah.
And at the point where it brings some benefits to you, right? The idea that if you do something kind, you feel good, or the idea that if you do something kind, you get rewarded for it externally by something else. in the case of good customer service, if you're kind, people come back to your place. So the Chick-fil-A example I was going to give, which is not as local, I can't think of any brand in Nigeria that is as, I guess, as known for this. But
Oh, I have terrible customer service in this country.
I can't think of any brand that's like, just the
Okay.
idea. But Chick-fil-A is one of the companies that I know they have this idea of the customer service is so talked about that within the fast food brand,
Yeah.
in the McDonald's and in the Papa John's, like they're the ones that stand out for just their customer service being so outstanding. And you can talk about that just being good work ethic, which is strategic for business. But at the same time, I do think that at the point where the value is being given to the client as good, like it is, you're helping me meet my needs, I think I consider that kindness. And I think to that end, I would then describe kindness as any action that ultimately improves on the needs, like satisfies the needs of a person in some capacity that, whether or not, no. So some action that satisfies the needs of another person other than you, whether or not it is comes at like personal cost to you.
Yeah.
So I think it's different than so kindness and sacrifice. Like kindness can be sacrificial, but not necessarily. I can give you a ring and not feel any kind of way around it. I've not lost anything significant to me. I can give you 1,000 naira out of 100,000 and not feel like too much has left me. Versus, I can give you my last 1,000 naira and then maybe.
Dopamine, dude. There's that factor. Like, you feel good.
No, that's why I said whether or not it comes at personal cost to you. So in my paradigm, I think kindness exists in both the world where you get dopamine from it, or you get even like bigger rewards, like bigger external rewards from it, or in the world where you don't get any reward from it, like you don't feel any kind of.
But like going by that, I think kindness is more like structured around how the person receives it.
Okay.
I think being
I think so. I think it's outcome.
Yeah, I think it's solely outcome. And I think it's also very subjective. Like earlier, I felt kind, but you didn't feel like I was being kind. So kindness did not.
I still don't. But thank you.
So I feel like there's a point A and the point B regarding to being kind. There's you, the kindy, kinda,
in the execution,
and
missing executioner, the sender,
and then
the recipient,
the kindy. So if the kindy does not feel kind, let's say kind is the currency.
They don't feel kinded.
So the kinder is paying to the kindy.
Yeah.
The kindy is like, you're paying me rubbish. The whole act just falls through.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Now, I think what matters most is the kinder. I might sound a bit self-centered. I'm not trying to cause segregation, because at least if you have more kind people, it's a better work.
Yeah, I think if you have more people who are intending to be kind.
And then again, there's also, it's because the human mind is really tricky, and the world is so, I don't know if I'm using the right word, subjective. Yeah, subjective means how I feel, objective means just the reality. But what can be very subjective when it comes to individuals, and really just very objective when it comes to outcome. Like, serial killers could feel like they're doing a kind act. And like the person is, that's why I said, like, after, I didn't say this earlier before we started recording, but as I said, after Jesus Christ, the next people that are actually genuinely kind are people who die for others also, like soldiers. Yeah, literally. So that
do like this, the final ultimate sacrifice. I don't know.
So like, you don't have to die obviously, well, if you're willing to go to that extent. I think that's the next like supreme level. Then there's now the base ones where like people, but like the purest form, if I'm trying to be purist, like the purest form of kindness is being able to give your all, literally and figuratively.
Yes, I think that's the ultimate form of it.
After those guys, I think the next part of people are genuinely kind. And people who die for that, like they don't even know that they might not be doing what is kind. Like you might not be feeling kind, but at least they are doing it. They are doing it for their family.
Well, perhaps I
join the army.
I think so. Okay, I can't go on this one because I need to get to some of the questions. But is there anything else I want to touch on before here? Anything? No, I'm just going to. So, is there anything else? I don't think so. Let's move on.
But not sound silly though. Like I said, I really believe there should be a lot of kind people. Like, to help with the outcome. So like, you don't have to. Just don't feel like
absolutely. So I completely agree with this. I think our world is ultimately made better when we have more people who are prioritizing intentional kindness, like you're intending to be kind.
Yeah.
You can be wrong, and I think there's sometimes where it is necessary for feedback. So, for instance, in this very specific case where you say you intended to be kind,
Like again, that ship has sailed. Even if
No.
even if you get like an award, I'll be like,
no, it's like
I shout, oh God.
no. I think, but that's another thing.
Shout Jerry Coco.
You see, this is exactly right. So on the idea of like being subjective, I'm not going to move from this, but oh well. On the idea of kindness being subjective in the way that it's received and sent.
Yeah.
If, for instance, what I consider to be kind to me, and I guess it's not touched on the idea of love languages. If what I consider to be kind to me is when you don't overblow what I think your understanding or your appreciation of whatever it is I'm doing is, if you are then insisting on giving it as you want it. So I want a 6. You insist on giving me a 10 consistently. Because the emotional response within me is to feel either overwhelmed by it, it stops being kind. And at the point where you continue to do it, you insist on giving at your own level, it stops being kind as well, right? Because then what you're doing is you're considering you over me, the person that you're trying to intend
The reality is, like I said, we need more kind people, but it kind of contradicts that because like that's the only way I know how to hype. If I like that, I'm just giving a subtle clap.
So what you're saying is you lack the ability for any kind of skill.
I think if you are being genuine about it, like that's just who you are. Like if you are genuine, if that's how you show kindness, like, I don't think it should be policed. That's why I said like it either exists or not, in the sense of like that's the only way I know how to hype who I know. If I don't know the person, I'll just like clap or not even send you. But like when I see you, especially if you're a guy, I just hail you.
What you are saying, you are unable to exhibit a scale of behavior. It is either or.
But it becomes draining because if I have to keep tabs of how to be kind to every individual I know.
No, but I think this idea,
like it becomes like eventually I won't want to be kind.
No, I think this is the cop out that people give when they are being asked to be a little thoughtful. I think the idea that you can't think too much about like if I have to start thinking like considering every single person, like that's exhausting. I think if that was the actual case, then yes, it would be exhausting. But I think most people are fine receiving at the level that you're outputting. I think the 1 or 2 people like me who would say, oh, you know what, like in this moment, I don't even
bother. Like I just keep things. I lean towards the formal side. So like I already wear different hats at work, at home. I don't need that with people that are not family and friends.
But that's even fantastic. So you see,
the reason, sorry to cut short. So like in this case, for example, now, like there is this. I have a different attitude towards like life outside.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's work life. I can't obviously be at work. I'm shouting, hey, my God. And then there's out of work life. And I know a lot of people. Like if I'm being honest, like I said, I have a kind circle. So if like I have to police what I do and what helps me to not get, because working a lot of jobs, life, blah 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 blah, I'm not naturally tired. But I still like want, but like it's who I am by default. So if I have to like be policing things, I just rather like have labels. Like, okay, this is the guy that I'm not greeting. This is the guy that normally he doesn't like beans. So like I won't just get you food. Like if I'm to buy food if I'm like okay, I want to no, but in this case, but if like okay, normally I'm supposed to get food for like 30 people every day, or like every time I see them. I used to have a list before of like things to iron. So if it's that way, then I'd rather just not.
I think
like maybe I'm an extremist, or I'm not saying my way or the highway, but I'm just like if I have to regulate how to be kind to every individual I know, not even account for strangers. Yeah, I would rather not I would rather just be void of that feeling.
So I think 2 things. The first one is on the idea of like the people that like the regulation on policing yourself. Like I guess it quite literally sounds like either or. I can understand the consideration of it can get exhausting to have to be putting too much thought into different people. But I think for those you care about, and this is where it really is interesting, right? Because I don't think you're obligated to do it for strangers. I think you're obligated to show up for strangers in the way that you'd like to be treated, as in with like being considered, right? I like consider others the way you want to be considered and act towards them.
I don't talk about strangers though. I have strangers in there.
So we're good. We're clear on the fact that we're not talking about strangers, we're talking about people that are close to you. And then to that extent, I think that for those who are in your circle, especially when it's not seen as offense. Okay, no, let me finish that. For those close to you, I think there's some responsibility to be thoughtful towards them, and that means then considering how they are. It's not enough to act as you are. So I think there's like, which now brings in the conversation of like, oh, compromise, right?
Yeah.
I think there's the way you show up, which is necessary sometimes to even be learned, and then the push and pull that happens.
Yeah.
Well, this is the way I am, and this is where you are. And then ultimately, with time, I can warm around to this. I think one big example is people that don't like physical touch versus people that like physical touch.
Yeah.
People are so clingy and so touchy. I'm talking to somebody, but she's not looking at me. So with situations like that, if you're the type that is so physically clingy,
Yeah.
it becomes very problematic for the person who is not. But with time,
Yeah.
it is possible that there's compromise being had on both sides. Like we're close.
Ideally.
So then the conversation then becomes like, what do you, as the person who is intending to be kind to this other person, do, knowing that this is not something that they like?
Well, the way I see it, ideally, is like, first of all, I don't know how to be kind to unsay selfish people. I don't know how to be kind to selfish people. Like, if I know you are, I'm just like, I mean, I'll still do my bit. Like I mentioned the case of my friend earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it's the actions he made when, like, sabotaging my efforts. Like, yeah, it's clearly not the kindest of people. But it happens. I think for that, really, and even though I say I'm surrounded by kind people, it's not like they're up to like 500, if I'm being honest. So like intentional people, they're kind of intentional in the sense that, and we're all understanding, like, how do I put it? Like, there's always a middle ground to be met. You get? Ideally, like the more time you spend with people, I think if you are being intentional, like smaller things like that are one of the reasons why I said, like, okay, it's not like an act of kindness. It's just like, okay, we disagree on like some things. I just feel like if from the get go there's no space for a middle ground, it kind of just leads to like an early death of because life is really about compromise. If I'm being honest, like, the circle around me, when we met each other, it's not like two of us were perfect for each other, like, or we loved each other's attitude towards everything, and we had the same. But eventually, we got to like understand that, especially when it doesn't come to objective things, when it's subjective things,
as most things are.
Yeah, which is as most things are. But like, yeah, let me not divert it to something. But when it comes to like subjective things, like there's always like room for middle ground. Like left to me now, like I mentioned, I was supposed to be doing something. I was supposed to be actively like after it. But at the same time, I understand like nuances and like life is not black and white, really.
Welcome to Talk to Jeremy.
I love it.
That's an adorable song.
Who is your editor?
It's not me, bro.
You're not being kind to him. Jeremy's editor. He's not being kind to you.
Cut.
He was about to
Cut. Sorry, please check if this is recording. Okay. 32. My God, we must wrap this up.